Patriot5 and Patriot6 here on Monday night, which could be the beginning of the week that changes our world. I'm not saying it's going to. I'm saying it could be. There's a lot of positivity out there. In my personal opinion, I don't feel we got what we were supposed to get over the weekend, but the hat has hit everything from us. You know, for a man that wants us to go out and vote for him, you think every now and then he would just one time tell the truth. And I'm not cutting him down. As a matter of fact, I got in a major argument with a gentleman from North Carolina the other day. I made him look like a total fool, and all I had to do is just say a few things. Because anybody who thinks this bad actor is sleepy, my goodness gracious. You know, all I can say is stupidity must run really, really deep in your family. Because this bad guy is bad. And now they're announcing yesterday, that who actually is playing Jill. Yeah, I never thought of that. I always thought, I never really paid any attention to her. Just didn't care. I thought she was a ruthless witch with a B, but that's me. And if you see me taking a breath here and there, it's yesterday, it hit almost 100 here, and I did a few too many things outside, and I have paid for it. I literally am totally exhausted to the extent that I'm just not feeling good at all. It's nothing sickness, it's just that I got too much heat. And we're supposed to have days the next couple days. Thursday is supposed to hit the 100th century mark. So we're going to see what happens. We're preparing for it, Ron and me, and I ask it if you guys are there, every one of you's just stay safe, please. Stay safe. Dear Lord, as we come to you tonight, we come to you in a way that we need your help. And I know when I talked to you today, Lord, I said that maybe we come to you too much. But right now, we're all in a thing where we're seeing the whole world be taken apart. Hawaii, California, New York. And people are losing their lives, Lord, and I don't think that is how you wanted this show to end. So we're praying to you to put a stop to it, to just get rid of these ruthless people, these terrible, terrible people. Lord, I'm going to ask you to look after Mike and his family and the people that live there as they're going through some very, very rough times. And we really, Lord, need to get this taken care of. We really do. You know, they took us through something in 2020, and we wouldn't comply, we wouldn't give in, because we knew we had you backing us. And now they're coming at us with everything they have, which truthfully isn't much. And we're just asking you, Lord, to be there for all the children. You know, it's time these children get the life they deserve. Every child, Lord, 100% of them. Thank you, Lord, for looking after Cindy as she embarked upon a trip to get away from Hillary, which who wouldn't want to get away from Hillary, right? And that's a story for another day, but she was late getting started, which I told her. I was very disappointed when she was late getting started because she needed to get out of there, and Lord, you kept her safe and you got her to her destination, and we thank you. And Lord, I want you to look after Patriot Diane with an E and just kind of be there and give her some support as she's going through a very rough time now with her little grandson going home. And, you know, Patriot 11, you know what he means to our family here and to her. You know, I want to thank you, Lord, for having all these people share all these amazing pictures with Jana yesterday, and look after Jana as she's invoking on going into the world of retirement. And Lord, we just ask you to look after us all and take care of us all. Some more than others because some need you more than others, but we just ask you to look after all of us. And we pray to you in our Savior, your Son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. So I want to talk about the children before we do the other two things. And because I won't say I got a lot of stuff for tonight, guys, but I got some decent stuff. Now, you know, one of the things I did before I go into the children, one of the things I thought was funny, remember last Friday night, everybody here, you know, Patty, Crazy Lady, and Janet, and Mike, and Ann, and, you know, Myrna, and, you know, there's many, many more, but we all remember what happened. We started spinning, and we have no idea why. Was able to go straight to my phone, and everything was fine. And we got through it. We just shut it down as best we could, and since I had downloaded Messenger on the tablet here, I was able to do the show on the cell phone and use this as the messenger to read the stuff. And it's funny because one of them was like 31 or 32 minutes, the second one, 33 minutes, and the other one was like 21 or 22. But what was funny, the first one that was incomplete outdrew the people from the second one. And what I'm going to ask everybody, if you want to go back, watch the first one first, and it'll take you into the second one. I did talk about some of the things, but I said a lot of good things in the first one about some things that really needed to be talked about. So, you know, you guys were amazing. Even in that second one, at one time, we hit 170 people, and that's getting knocked off. And I don't know why we continue to get knocked off, but we do. Somebody don't like us, and as long as God and Jesus Christ does, that's all that really matters to us. But, you know, as I was talking, you know, to the girl I write last night, I wrote her a letter, and I said, hey, I found out something about these beds. I said, I'm going to be able to learn Ukrainian, and you're going to be able to learn English. Well, she speaks English pretty well, but her mom doesn't, and her best friend doesn't, and her best friend's two kids don't. So I said, you know, you're going to be able to learn this pretty easily. And she was really excited when she wrote me the letter today. And more so, she was astounded that I would think enough to try to learn her language for her and her family. But, you know, it's just, it is what it is. And then, you know, I'm going to write her tonight, and I'm going to tell her more and more about them. So, you know, there's just so many things out there with the emergence of these beds, with everything that's going. And I truthfully believe we're just in a situation that I think the hat and I think the people are running out of certain things. And I'm going to get to that when we go into the nuts and bolts of the show, because I have something to read, and it'll take me right into something else. And putting the two together, you're going to understand what I was meaning. But, you know, Patriot Jimmy, you know, I had to talk about the beds. Yes, I was just talking about something else about them, but then I was telling her also the things that it could do, you know, and I believe in them 100%. I know there's other things going on out there, and I know, and guys, I want to back up. I did some shows, and I've kind of cut this one girl down. I'm not a fan of hers, but if you guys send me the stuff, I do watch it. But I did see the other day someone sent something or said something. It looks like this time she's really gone. And see, and that's why I couldn't be a backer of her. I don't even know what they meant by it. All I know is they said it looks like this time she's finally gone for good. And that's been her whole last 4 or 5 months. It's like the kid at the ball, the basketball court. If you don't let me take the shots, I'm taking my ball and going home. And that's what she reminded me of. I mean, she might be the nicest, sweetest lady in the world, but you don't take your ball home when you're playing with a big team. And we have a huge team. We're one of the smallest teams, but I bet you put any other team together, and there's no team that has as much love and feels so family-oriented as us. So, Jimmy, going back to you, my man, just hang in there. And I know we keep telling you this, but I truthfully believe we are super, super close. I really do. And Patriot 11, as you heard me in the, guys, everybody heard me in the prayer, keep Diane, Patriot Diane with an E in your prayers, because the little man went home. He was supposed to be a couple more weeks, but Dad had to come there for some reason, and he decided he wanted to go home. And it's got to be tough, because here you go all summer and you don't see Mom and Dad, and then Dad shows up, and it's really tough on Diane. So drop her a message and just say, hey, if you just need to talk, me and her have been exchanging some messages, and she's keeping us super informed. I'll read some of the things that she sent me about Hawaii in a little bit. But she's a tremendous lady. I've had the opportunity to talk to her and Patriot 11 on the phone. And, me and Ron got a real kick when we talked to her the last time, because she kept saying, well, Wyatt, Patriot 11 really wants to talk to you, and he did. But I really think the bottom line was Patriot Diane, and I hope she's laughing when she hears me say this, because me and Ron looked at each other, and I says, I think Patriot Diane really wanted to talk to us too. And Ron said, yeah, I got that too. But she's an amazing, amazing woman. Now you also got to say, remember, she lost her little grandson. Now she won't get to see him until, I don't know, a break or something. But, the great thing about what we have going right now is the fact that we have the internet for a while now, the way it is, and she can always get on and chat with him. And she was a little disappointed. She wanted to get some pictures of Patriot Hunter, the little girl, the little friend that's a girl who's there in the same area as Patriot Diane and Patriot 11 together. She wasn't able to get them, and it's just one of those things. She thought she had more time, and she did tell me that they got a lot of pictures of him, and she will be sending some, and that's good. And then, but now he's home with, Patriot Haley. What a man! What a man! And I hope he's still watching the shows. I hope that Patriot Diane is, convinced the mom to let him watch, because we run, a pretty clean show here. I try to keep it really clean because of the great, thing we have with the kids. But that being said, then we have Patriot Karate Kid and Patriot Wyatt Earp, and, Patriot Boogs and Boogaloo and Boogaroo. And, I was so happy when they did post both of them shows the other night, because when we came back, I did mention in the second show, Happy Birthday Boogs, but I forgot to sing her the birthday song again. So at least she's seen me make a fool of myself singing to her, and she was probably there going, Grandpa, who is this guy? But, it's an amazing thing. And Patriot Little Leona, and Mike sent me a message the other day, and she said, have you been getting my pictures and my videos and everything? And I seen them, but I hadn't reacted to them. Some of them I hadn't watched. Doesn't mean I ain't getting them. I just hadn't watched them. I got busy and got behind, but I caught up. And I think Friday night we we messaged each other into the middle of the night. But keep your prayers for him and Patriot little Leona, who's going to have that surgery. But him and his family and that, because they're going through some rough times. And I'm not going to say what the times are. I'm going to let him say it, should he choose to say it. It's, this is not for me to share. But I assured him that one way or another he would be taken care of. And then we have Patriot Princess and Patriot Hunter, our ball player, and I guess our little princess, our queen, must be a little ball player too, because Jana was saying something about she's upped her speed on her pitch 5 miles an hour this year. So Jana sent me some pictures, really beautiful pictures, and guys, I also want you to take time to congratulate Jana. If you see her in here tonight, she's decided that she wants to go into the retirement workforce, and she deserves it. And when she tells me her age, I still don't believe it, but it is what it is. And just think what she's going to look like when she gets on that bed and goes back. Can you see, this is the thing. You're going to retire, and then all of a sudden you're going to go back 30 years, and they're going to say, what the heck did you retire for? And it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Today I got to spend today with Patriot Little Monkey, and last Friday she decided that I was her grandpa. And Uncle Ron was not Uncle Ron no more. He was Uncle Ronnie. Well, now tonight she was calling me Aunt Susie. And then she called me Grandma Sane. This little girl has a mind. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story about what happened today. As I told you, that I got overheated yesterday. I didn't feel good, but I had to pick the kids up at the bus stop. So I drove instead of walked. It's only 4 or 5 blocks, if that. And normally I would take that walk gladly. But I didn't want to be out in the heat. So I got over there and I says, I'll buy you ice cream if we don't play at the park. And they was all for it. So we went to the store and we got the ice cream. And we're sitting at the kitchen table eating it. And I said something about her being smart. And Ella says, well, if you're so smart, Addison. Now, this is Patriot little gymnast, super gymnast. If you're so smart, what is 2 times 2? And she goes like this. Now, you can count it. I got 5, right? And then all of a sudden she goes, I have no idea how she got it. It blew both of Ella, Patriot super gymnast. She looked, and I still... No, she's wondering how she got it. I mean, it would have been one thing if Liam, who was sitting there, Patriot 7, was sitting there and would have said something, trying to tell her. But she didn't. She says like this. And she laughed when she did it. And I started to say, well, it's close. And then she goes, I don't know. Patriot Small Hank, me and him just had a little bit of a bad conversation because I went home to get my tablet to prepare for tonight's show. He has a tendency, he comes in the front door, he doesn't like to shut the front door. Well, when you got cats, they like to go out. They're curious. That saying, curiosity killed a cat. And I don't want that to happen to my kitties. You have a little bit special feeling for them when you're in a situation that they were so small when you got them, you literally had to bottle feed them. And then Patriot Kira, they went all camping. My son and my daughter-in-law went camping all weekend, and they took a picture of her. And if I could find it, I'd share it with you. But they took a picture of her, and she was in the big chair, and the caption was "Somebody likes camping," which that somebody's not me. I don't like camping. I don't mind going camping. I don't mind staying there till 12:30, 1 o'clock at night. I don't mind drinking the beer, eating the food, having fun. But when it comes time to go to sleep, I want my bed. My brother Russ, him and a friend of ours used to camp all the time, and I'd stay down at the club with them, that club that I want to rebuild. I'd stay down there with them, and about 1:30, 2 o'clock, when they got ready to call it a night, I got in my car and I drove home. At that time, we was living out in the country, so it was a little bit of a drive, but nothing much. But I'm not a camper. That doesn't mean a lot of people aren't, and I plan on building a very, very. Here's a picture I wanted to share with you guys. Naturally, it would go off. That's my little youngest one. That's Patriot, little Carol. And everything she's been through in her life, just to have her on something like that and smiling, it makes my day. So that pretty much takes care of the kids. I'm going to do the pledge, I'm going to do the song, and then we'll come back and get into the show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Bear with me a minute. When I showed you the picture, I forgot that I went off with a song. I got to get it back up. Here we go.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life.
Yeah.
And I had to
Well, here's what I have a good game, yeah. He did just what he did the last game. The exact same thing he did the last game. He walked the first guy on 3 and 2 and hit the next guy on the first guy.
Living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt as love is land.
I think you get home in here, but I think there's... Let me throw through a photo so the guy just walks. After he's already got past, well, it wasn't probably
from the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and
You know,
it's
I would
time we
love
stand and
thinking about it. And the other people come on this thing, they do the stands, they do the runners. And just tell Joey, if you refuse to give us something you do, I
and I
mean,
won't forget
what kind of pitching coach? You can't get out of the first inning.
right to me. And I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt of this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't
Jesus.
forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today.
So when this guy goes up in one pitch, he's going to have over 30 pitch for him. Yes, yes, yes. God bless the USA. You know, and guys, it really makes me feel good that when I play this song, you guys are backing me and support me on it. And what I mean by that is it makes me feel good that with the support, I've had several of yous in the last 3 to 4 days, 5 days, have sent me messages and says, we look forward to your videos. And even when you don't do the live video, when you do the recorded ones, you're trying to get the song in there. And he says it makes us, because that's our theme, that's our calling, that's how we start. That and the Pledge of Allegiance. And I do the Pledge of Allegiance because I'm just hoping by some way a teacher, a principal, or something looks and says, well, if they can say the Pledge of Allegiance, why can't we? But I want to talk a little bit, just briefly, just gonna touch. You guys know how big of a sports fan I am. Well, 5 football teams as of right now. Now this was 3 days ago and I heard this. But 5 teams has told their players, if you do not stand and respect the national anthem, you will be put on suspended. They want the whole league to do it. But I don't think the rest of the league's got the balls to do it. I really don't. But the 5 I really respect. What hurts? You know, what does it hurt? You know what? If you don't like it, go someplace else and play foot. You know, you go any place else in the world and say you're going to play football. It's not with that type of ball we play with. It's with a round ball. And you can go out there and kick it all over you want. You don't have to stand if you don't want. You know, and I say glory, glory, hallelujah, because we're finally rid of that weirdo, that terrible lady who disrespects the United States. And as much as I love the United States and I root for them in everything they do, I found satisfaction when she was the one that missed a kick. Because, you know, she expects to go down as one of the greatest players ever. If it's me, I ban her from all record books totally. That's me. So, but there's just a lot of things going on, guys. Now, as I'm looking up some things that I want to talk about, one of the things I want to talk about is I knew I wouldn't be able to find it, who did it, but let's see if I can. We're going through some serious things. And what I will tell you, Patriot Diane, she gets an update. Her son is back in classes in Hawaii, but there's still over 1,000 people unaccounted for. The death toll is growing and growing and growing. But still going through everything that we're going through, and I'm sure we're going to start getting some very, very bad news, you know, in California, and then the major fires in New York, and it's everywhere, guys. I'm sure Chicago's going to get hit before long. That's why I'm glad I'm 60 miles south. I mean 60 miles north. Just in case someone's listening. But that being said, they're also trying to bring some joking into it. And in a way, it's funny. And me and Myrna, I think it was Myrna, had responded to it. Well, Mary Ann says, sounds like cleanup on aisle 17 is happening. Hopefully the collateral damage is minimal. But what I wanted to talk about is there's someone sent this. Well, Myrna sent it. Hillary makes landfall, destroying over 30,000 emails. But doesn't that fit it just right? Think about it. They feel as long as they can get rid of the emails, get rid of the... I mean, we got a president a man who was the hat. We have a man who literally, being indicted for the fourth time, and now I'm listening to someone sent something, and the people talking are saying, well, there's this, it's kind of weird, because there's this lady, and then there's this blonde lady, and they're discussing things. And there's this man sitting there, a man never said a thing through the whole thing. And the lady who's interviewing the blonde lady, and the blonde lady is doing 98% of the talking. But the lady is a mainstream media news, and you could tell she wanted to cut the hat down. But boy, the lady that she was interviewing, that blonde, she loves the hat, and she was all for him, and she was saying things. And the lady doing the interview says, well, do you think that they'll indict him? Do you think he'll go to jail? He said, it doesn't matter. He'll be out. This is just all a show for people that don't understand what's going on. And you being in mainstream media news, you understand it, but you won't talk about it. And it's going to cost you. And I was going to see if I could pull something up here real quick. Anyway, these two people, in this video, they're from Fox News, and they're really, really cutting down, certain things, saying how stupid they are. No, they're not stupid. But you know what they're going to be, and I'm not going to go into that, but, that's what's going to happen. They're going to find out that they're not real happy of what is really and truthfully going on. Another thing I wanted to talk about. Now you got to listen to what I'm going to say here, guys, because I literally have watched this video and read what it says a dozen times already, because I can't believe they're that stupid to come out with this. But here's what they say. Woman in Canada diagnosed with climate change. She is suffering from climate change. That is what the doctors put on her report. That's what's wrong with her. And someone said to me, they said, Ralph, do you believe that they can control the weather? I believe 100%. But if you don't hold it against me, because that's the beauty. I don't go out and preach it, but I believe it. That I truthfully believe that they do control it. And I have talked to Ron on a lot of occasions, and I've said, Ron, if they can control it, why wouldn't they go to each individual state? Why wouldn't they go to each individual state? And I don't know about you guys, I don't like cold weather. But, people in Colorado love it because it's a big source of their money. There's other places that love it. But here in Illinois, I could care less if I ever got snow again. I could care less if I ever seen it drop below 50 to 55, 60 degrees again. Now, I'm not saying it has to be like it's going to be this week. Many days in the 90s, pushing 100. Yesterday it was 98 degrees, and that was at 6 o'clock at night. So in the heat of the afternoon, it may have reached 100. I'm not saying I want it like that, but if you can control it, that's going to be another way for our lives to be extended. And that's just my opinion, and I'm sure everybody has their own. But I really thought that was kind of funny. Here's something that was put up, and I kind of liked it. I saved it to read it. This, matter of fact, I seen it, and I brought it up because, number one, the person who posted it, Candace Owens, I really like. She had gotten really quiet here recently, and I thought, oh, I really hope that she's okay and she's not bad. But, you know, she comes in and she says, we need to stop calling them liberals and begin referring to them as exactly what they are, American communists that wish to partake in destruction of Western civilization. And she's 100% right. Now, I did post today, for anybody who's got a couple bucks, a little bit of money, they had some pretty good deals on some Zim, 10 trillion for $14.95. I did post that. Not that I'm asking you guys to go out and spend your hard-earned money for this. It's just that, you know, for what we can get, you know, 10 trillion could set you up for the, you know, however many years you want to live. But evidently, it wasn't accepted very well because 401 unauthorized. I guess what I said, it was unauthorized. I don't know why, because I posted things before in there like that, but, you know. Syrian central bank sets new exchange rates amid economic challenges. SH Shafak News, the Central Bank of Syria, announced on Sunday a new exchange rate for the Syrian pound against the US dollar for remittance and exchange transactions settling at a 10,900 pounds. According to today's bulletin issued by the Syrian National Bank, a reported by the official news agency, the exchange rate of the Syrian pound against the euro was fixed at $11,850.48 per pound. The bulletin is issued by the central bank for the purpose of cash circulation, foreign commercial transactions, and transfers received by individuals, including those received through the International Transfer Network. It is noteworthy that prior to the crisis in 2011, the exchange rate was 47 Syrian pounds to the US dollar. Last Tuesday, President Bashar al-Assad issued a decree increasing salaries and wages by 100% for all state employees, both civilians and military personnel. Here's something Patriot Diane with two N's sent over. BRICS is going to change the world starting this week. That came from Mark Z. Militiaman agrees. Then a lot of what she on this page is BRICS meeting August 22nd, August 24th through August 24th. 40 world leaders to attend. Membership expansion, destruction of the petrodollar, gold-backed currency put in will take center stage as a new worldly leader. If all goes well, you can say RIP to the United Nations, IMF, World Bank, and G7. The crane has already lost The surrender under the GUISE of peace deal may occur very soon. Then it says the same thing. Then here they say, go out and get yourself a conspiracy theorist friend. You're going to need one to explain what's about to happen. Okay, that's pretty much here. Let me go over here. Okay, I read that. This is something I believe I read Friday night, but I'm not 100% sure. Emergency transmission system warning. President the Hat is going to tweet, "My fellow citizens, a storm is brewing, and that will unleash global martial law on us. The Big G and Big N will be activated. The military will remove cabal-controlled governments worldwide and simultaneously arrest 500,000 sealed indictments worldwide. 7 trumpets, aka EBS test messages, alerting him to turn into his TV, radio, or phone will be coming to his phone. Every world military throughout the United States military shut down all media, internet, phone, and TV programs. Emergency services will still work. Internet and ATMs will not work during that time, and phones will be only work if you call 911. This global martial law includes 10 days of communication darkness, emergency broadcast systems operating around the world, and an 8-hour documentary on fraud, corruption, pedo, arrest, and the courts around the world to be broadcast 3 times a day, 24 hours for 8-hour segments. Elites, after 10 days of communication darkness, we connected to our new network. As much as the internet, the old system of governments, education, finance, health, trade, and commerce will be dismantled. I'm going to read this because it was posted on my Telegram page. But when it was posted on there, I would not read it. I'm not going to go into detail why I would not read it. But then Ricky Revon, a friend of mine, and a couple other people sent me the same thing, and I will read it for them and for all of us. But the other person who was involved with the posting and that, I don't read anything of his stuff. So just wanted to make that perfectly clear. So anybody, if you want to know what I'm talking about, feel free to email me and I'll tell you. And if you post anything else up there, it'll just stay up there. Other people have the right to look at it. I don't look at none of his stuff. Okay? It's just plain and simple. More. Redemption Center appointments are to receive monies owed to us from the Big N and Big G funds, and also for those wishing to exchange foreign currencies and Zim bonds. Appointment times will be done in 3 separate groups, ages 24 to 44, 45 to 60, and 61 and older. The 61 and older will go first. You will have 8 to 12 days to get your appointment. At your appointment, you will set up your quantum account, which is identified by your own biometric positive energy. Criminals with negative energy will not be given access to the quantum account. You will also receive your quantum access bank card called the QUACK, which is unique to your base and your biometric energy. No one can access that account but you. You will also receive a laptop that connects with the Starlink satellite system and from which you can access your quantum account. Now, okay, I'm gonna go into this because I believe that people believe this. But my truthful believing in here is I don't think they're going to do the Big N and Big G when we're at a redemption center. What about the people? I'm going to give you a very good example of a lady I think dearly of, Myrna. Myrna, through this all, has never bought any currency. That's good. That's good for her. That's how she feels. But the fact is, then how would Myrna get hers? I believe we have been taught for how long how the Big N and Big G's. You're not going to do the two. We're having a hard time getting to the redemption centers, the tier 1 banks, and all of the things like that. We're having a hard time getting to things like that. And now you're telling me they're going to try running 2, but we still have to be in and out in 40 minutes? That makes no sense at all. But I wanted to read it because this will give you some. I wanted to read it and give my opinion. And believe me, I ain't saying my opinion's right. I'm just saying it's my opinion. But I didn't want something coming out and all of this happening. Now, I talked to a very dear friend of mine over the weekend. And he said, Ralph, have you heard about the senior citizens? I'm hearing we're only going to get about a 15% raise. And I said, no, I have not heard that. Then we got talking, and we both had also heard. Now, Ron had told me he heard this on PPN, that we senior citizens weren't getting 5,000, they were getting 2,500. He said he heard that on there. Now, to me, that would have been something that if it was true and it was really had any spunk to it, we'd have been hearing about it all weekend long. And I didn't. I kept looking. I kept searching. You know, I didn't do a lot over the weekend, but when I did, that was the one subject I was looking for because, see, I don't see them going back. Now, as I told Ron, if they pay my insurance where I don't have to pay my insurance, to go to $2,500 is almost a $900 a month raise for me. Now, that being said, all my bills paid, getting the extra money from everything we're going to get, even if I didn't have other stuff, it would still be something that I would have. You know, if I didn't have all this other currency, but I had no bills, and I had this $2,500 coming in every month, you know, I was one that I wasn't actually old enough to retire when the plant I worked at for 30 years closed down. So my pension, I only got about 35% of my pension. So I don't get much of a pension. So Social Security or whatever they're going to call it means a lot to me. But I still feel we're in a situation. And I'm gonna put this out there to try to ease people's minds. Remember, we said they were going to start coming out of the woodwork. We said it. We've been talking about this for 3 months. That when we get close, they're going to come out like, you know, I seen 2 guys on shows on YouTube over the weekend. These are 2 young guys that they got in, and they would put the greatest little freaking titles up. They would make you want to go see what it was about until you realized there was about 8-minute videos. 5 of them was advertising, so they was making the money, and they never talked. Like they might say the hat is a shoe-in, and he just announced something, passing a law that's going to end all this, or you know, just some title that's you got to look at it, and it's a short video. It's only 8 minutes. So a lot of people, hey, I'm going to look at it, and they were getting thousands and thousands and thousands of views. But then all of a sudden they disappeared. Well, they disappeared because people understood they had no clue of what they were talking about. They never had a decent show because they didn't put the time in. They come up with 2 to 3 minutes of mumbo jumbo. They might have watched my show. They might have watched, you know, Mike Penny's show. They might have watched, you know, Mark Z's show. They watch any of this stuff. They might have done this and just got 1 or 2 little things, and did talk nothing but negative. But they knew how to make great titles, and that's what gets you to the thing. That's what gets you to the thing. I have no doubt. I know you guys love to chat over here. That's why I try to do at least the hour show to give you guys a chance to chat. That being said, by doing that, a lot of people say, oh, this was an hour and 3 minutes. They don't want to watch the video. I mean, you guys just send me stuff on Mike Penny and just, oh, it's really good, it's really good. And it's 2 hours and 10 minutes long. Guys, I ain't got 2 hours and 10 minutes that I can sit down and watch something. Now, what I always say, if you guys want to take the time to watch it, hey, Diane, I know you really like Mike, and he's good. I really like him. But tell me where it's good. I mean, I don't need to listen right at the beginning when he's playing these videos that they mean nothing to me. A lot of times I'll play these videos right at the beginning. I have no clue what they're doing. But when they start getting in the nuts and bolts, I like Chaz, and a couple of the guys with him, so there we are there. Here's a bank story. I believe I read this Friday night, but it was sent over to me today. So I'm going to read it again real quick. I'm going to go over it because you're going to probably, I'm pretty sure I read it Friday night. Well, I went to the Chase today and I had opened a checking account online about a week ago with our friends, and we went in today to deposit some cash and get some temporary checks. I spoke to the lady that greeted us at the door of the bank. Looked more like a fancy restaurant than I'm used to. Even my husband commented on the interior. I told her what I was there for: deposit cash to an open online checking account, and I will also speak to a wealth manager. I would like to speak to a wealth manager if at all possible. She said she would let her know, so when we were through with our teller business, we could go talk to her right away. Right before we got there, the wealth manager had just stepped out, and when they told her we wanted to talk to her, she said she told them that she was on her way back, asked us not to leave. In essence, she goes on and she starts asking these people, how much you got? And she started guessing numbers. It became a game. She literally took the lady's information because she was interested. She said, yes, but I need to talk to some of my partners. We'll give you a call. And it was very, very soon she give them a call. And the lady didn't answer the phone because she didn't want to seem too anxious. Well, it all turns down to the lady really wants to work with her. But the lady did right by not telling. Guys, if you're looking for a wealth manager, once you have him signed, once you have him agreed that he's signing an NDA, if he leaks anything out, you got to protect yourself. And see, there's another thing. You take like the currency that Ron and myself and my brother Russ has got. I was saying, when I talked about the currency the other day that I bought that 200,000 of the other night, and Patriot Dana asked me, she says, can you get me the information on that? I want to check it out. So I got her the information, and while I was in there, I bought another 100,000 and another currency. And then today I bought some more. But I'm done. I'm not buying no more. It's either going to go or I'm going to have a whole wall of what could have been. It'll be my what could have been wall. But just be careful not giving out your information, because there's vicious people out there, and that's all they're looking for. Now let's see what Judy's got to say, and then we just about call it a night. Really want to appreciate and tell you guys how much I really appreciate you guys being here tonight. I think tomorrow, because we're getting an air conditioner put in here tomorrow, so we're going to be very busy. And I think I'm just going to do a recorded one again tomorrow. This is all if nothing changes. If the BRICS comes out with something big, and guys, until just recently, I always called it the BRICS, all capital letters. And then I decided to start doing some DuckDuckGo and some Googling. And when I started doing this, I started looking and I thought, this is huge. This is what the hat. And a little bit ago they mentioned that Putin might be declared the world leader. I think that's just all show. At some point, the hat's got to stand up and prove to the world how much he loves us. Because we can back him all we want, but if he keeps dragging his feet, and see, I think this is all planned to make the United States and to make Sleepy look terrible, terrible, terrible. I believe there's going to be a lot of things going to happen. I really do. And when? I'm hoping very soon. Now people, I guess, the bearded guy, the wizard, came out and said it wasn't going to happen till September 11th. And I'm gonna tell you what I've said a lot of times before when they've given a date. I don't go by dates anymore, but if they could assure me it was going to happen September 11th, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. We've been doing this so long, and I mean, I feel bad for the newbies, the people that's only been doing a year, 2 years, because I read so many of them. They says, well, I've been doing this for 2 years and I just can't take anymore. Me and Ron's been doing it for 17 years. We're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that we've been doing it so long. Does that make us any better? No. But it sure has given us time to take a little bit here and a little bit there. And our portfolio, like I said, it might take them 40 minutes just to go through everything we got. I think we got, with what I bought here recently, when it's all in, and it will be all in by Thursday. And then I'm not buying no more. I'm not taking no more chances. But when that comes in, I think I've got, with Ron, 11 or 12 different currencies. And you remember I tell the story. We had a lot. We had enough for me and him and my brother Russ to retire on, just in dinar and dong. And that's all we got into this for. But then we became patriots. We became doing shows, and we started looking at things. And I was telling him, we bought some currency. And we have 467 1 million notes of them. 467. For that 467, altogether, we paid about $200. Now, to get $101 million of them notes, it's like $990-some. We just looked it up yesterday. And I said to him, and he goes, oh. And then if you noticed how high the Zim has went up. That's why when I seen the Zim today, where you could get 10 trillion for, I put the price, I don't remember what it was. I did that. So let's see what Judy has to say. Judy Bidington compiled 21st of August, 2023 at 12:01. Deep State DEW attacks and weather manipulations. As of Sunday, 20th August, there were fires at Maui and Oahu, Hawaii, Colony, British Columbia, Washington State. Several buildings in New York were on fire. There was a sandstorm in Iran. Floods in Dongguan City in Guangdong Province, China. Tottori City, Japan, Buenos Aires, San Pedro Sula, all of them around. In essence, all over, we're getting these, near Los Angeles, the earthquakes, the dew attacks, and the Hurricane Hillary was threatened, unprecedented flooding throughout Northern California. Guys, I don't know about you, but it's time we put Hillary out to pasture. Unite against cabal. We are one, and where we go one, we go all. And I really wish, because this is a statement that the hat talks about all the time. I really wish he would start doing this. Then she talks a lot about stuff that donations needed for Hawaii. They have information, but we've also got the information, which I trust a lot more because it was given to us by one of ours. Charlie Ward, Tier 4B, will be able to exchange foreign currencies after global currency reset is announced. The global currency reset is expected to be announced at the BRICS Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Shelton Levert just said that the paymasters will be starting paying Tier 3 after BRICS. See, that makes absolutely no sense. That why she would come and say all of this, we're going to start getting our and go, and now they're saying they're not even going to pay Tier 3 until after the BRICS Summit is over. That I don't know. 17th of August, Mark Z. I have been assured Iraq plans to finish in the month of August, and bankers are still looking around the 20th. Bruce on Thursday, August, or Friday, 17th or 18th, bondholders were to receive their NDAs. 18th, Wolverine, Wells Fargo has received the cash release codes. The EBS redemption centers and the Big G and Big N funds. Two separate things could be going on here. Foreign currency exchange for tier groups could happen before the actual EBS, EAS. Why? This is a group that has prepared for this for some time. Exclusive group, for lack of better words. The EBS will go off and we will receive 7 text messages. I've already talked about that, everything that's going to happen with that. That's pretty much it, guys. I want to thank everybody for coming out. There's so many people, if I don't mention your name during the show for everything you do, every person here, I love each and every one of you. And, we don't have a show without you guys. It's plain and simple. We've went through some rough times here, and we're surpassing things and doing what we need to do. And like I said, keep the prayers for the kids who needs these magical, miracle, whatever you want to call them, beds, and the parents of the kids who need them so bad. And yes, I need them. Ron needs them. A lot of us need them. But keep your prayers for Mike and, for Cindy, who had to go to Vegas to get out of the way of Hillary. And, there's so many people. Just pray for the whole group and all the children, every child in the world. Just keep the prayers going. Keep your spirits up. And we're going to get through this, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And Patriot Diane, is kind of hurting. Drop her a line and just say, hey, if you need to talk, just drop me a line. She's an amazing woman. Patriot Diane with 2 N's, I had just found out, because we haven't chatted much, and when we do chat, we really don't talk anything personal. I found out you got sick, and I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm also aggravated that you didn't let me know. So, I hope you're feeling better. Keep her in your prayers, and, all of us guys, let's just be a happy family, and we'll see you when we're back on Wednesday night, maybe tomorrow, but as of right now, I'm probably going to just do a recorded tomorrow, and we'll come back on Wednesday night, and hopefully we're going to have the show of the century on Wednesday night. Good night, God bless, and Patriot 5 and Patriot 6 loves you all.